Hello friends, fans, and foes. Welcome back to my channel. I am Fancy Fatale. Today, we're going to talk about Daily Studies Challenge. So 2 years ago, I realized that I really wanted to do studies to improve on a lot of different things that I work on, specifically locations and more fluid poses. So I basically, with the obsession I have with Dungeons & Dragons and dice games, tabletop role-playing, decided to make a list, because I didn't want to choose every day. I wanted fate to decide what I draw every day. I made multiple lists, one for animation, one for location studies, one for a character sheet, like a design for their model, and then one for a scene, an epic scene or important scene from the comics, one for erotic art, which will not be presented in this video, of course. No, that's it. So there were 5 or so that I would do every single day. And I wanted to see if I can make that a daily practice in general. But basically, it lasted a month and a half the first time, which makes sense because that is a lot of work. This is something that is basically like an artist boot camp. I was forcing myself to animate something with 8 to 12 frames a day, which is a very simple chibi, usually. And then I was making myself think of a location, putting it at a camera frame within it, and then drawing it. And usually these were between 15-20 minute goals for each of them. Of course, a lot of these ended up being 1 to 2 hours, which takes up a lot of time, which is another reason I couldn't do it every single day. And yeah, so this process was really fun. And I think in general it has greatly improved my skill. And I highly recommend it to everyone who wants to improve their skill. I'll just go through some of them and express or discuss things that I've learned from doing them. Up first, we have one of the first animations of this past year, because I'm only going to go over 2024's January sketches. We have Rosanna, that is my cleric from a friend's campaign. She's a bit of a dom. She's an elf that has the cut off ears due to a punishment she received. And here I have her whipping, because she has a cat o' nine tails as her weapon, as well as casting the different spells, and she has her focus on her forehead on a headband that is covering a scar that she also has. And yeah, so this is a very simple action. I could have improved on on a lot of these I can improve on the steadiness of the lines to make sure it looks more unified, but it's good for the action, I think. Also within my campaign, I have the Comfort Inn. This is a tavern and inn that's within Lotham, a more recent location that Maddie, the main character that I've been using. There's another group that's in my campaign, but she's come here. She hasn't made a best of friends in this Comfort Inn, but here I practiced designing the river going past and further out trees and the, extending, the line of sight and everything as things go further away. Leslie Crisp Tree, that is a love interest within my own campaign for the love interest of a player, so it's a very difficult thing. She's supposed to look very kind, but have a essence of manipulation about her. And I think with these different expressions in her pose, I've probably accurately portrayed that. Here we have one of the first sketches of scenes from the comic, and we have Maddie getting bitten by bullywugs. It was traumatizing for her, and it was an interesting thing to figure out this pose. The next one, we have Alacor. I animated him, them, her, doing a little dagger spin because they're a cute little rogue. And they have long hair on top of their head that flows down the back, and they're shaved on both sides so they can style it a lot of ways. The next is my gorgeous, also gender neutral, not fluid, but neutral, doesn't really care, Lich, the Void Mage. They're very optimistic, but distracted, and I love them. And I think these different expressions are perfect for their face is nailed in this, and the main one I think is a very cute one to express their body type. So it worked out well. Next we have also within my campaign the Balderdown Ballroom, and this is where a huge event occurred with Drow, let's say, with Maddie and her new friend Yelvin, and old friends Silo and Miski. So I got to portray this very big ballroom with an overhang of the upper floor that you can look down into it, and the extended hallway that goes back further. Very good study for location. Next one is another one from my campaign. This is Maddie once again, flirting with the love interest Roxlin, a drow, who has gone against all of the drow society and come to live in the Summer Court within the Feywild. Next animation is Tiv, just summoning his 2 rapiers, looking like a badass. He's a cutie. Then we have a character that I've designed for a newer DM. It's for my player, Maya. I do a monk. And her name is Null. I really love her design because I don't do a lot of cutesy feminine ones like this too much for my own characters. She's supposed to be quiet and anxious. I haven't been able to play her that way yet, but her design I just love. She's a Galora, which is a moth or butterfly person. Next is another one from my campaign. It is Iridescent Way in Caer-Ardun, the summer town that Maddie's dad kind of rules over, where Roxlin's from. And this is where tons of magic glass or mintir is shunted up from the ground as a protective barrier for the edge of the land. And it also, during sunrise and sunset, has a gorgeous luminescent just beams of light that come through it like a kaleidoscope. Next we have my wonderful girl Talks, summoning titty lights out of magic stars. A very simple one. It's a little jittery looking, but it's because I sped it up and I need more panels within it. Next one is another one from my campaign. This is the Overlook, and it's the back porch area. So this is a huge tree in the middle of forest bed, and it is an inn that is owned by a cute little bird, which we'll see in here later, named Brightbeak. I think this is a good study of a cutout of a building. Here we have Maddie, my campaign again, performing in a very scandalous dress to get a discount on some clothes she does want. Don't worry, the fashion designer was gay, so it wasn't creepy. Euphoria, animated, just being a little lazy while swinging her hips looking cute. Brickery, this is from Feyword campaign characters. She is a Volodni, which is a nature-based person, kind of tree or bark essence about them. And she is the ruler of a kind of Volodni tribe. Very powerful druid type person. Stage of Melvia, that is also in my campaign. It is a stage that has a whole backstory to it, and I plan to make an animatic for it at some point for the lore I made to tell the players. Another one for my campaign, Maddie. She's saving Silo, the blade singer that is eventually in her group. Animation of Thalen. This is a wizard from Cordsmark within Yonder. Whitcomb Eagleheart. This is an ex-boyfriend-ish of Sandrak I made. He's an older human, and it's supposed to feel a little weird because he's always trying to flirt and be a bard, but he's just a fighter, and he hits on a lot of people. This one's from the more recent sessions. This is Death's Misfits. We have Lick telling everyone that they can make a dome, while the other two are arguing which direction to go for the night. It's a scene. Then the new character we have is Vele, another Volodni. This is my partner's character in the same campaign that I play, Elikor. Her favorite line is, "Give me your teeth," because she likes to collect creepy things like me, like a witch. Sunrest Inn is another location within my campaign. This is also within Caer-Ardun, where Maddie's dad kind of reigns over. It's where Roxton spends a lot of his time. It has a little light orb in the far back that emits through white curtains and makes a very beautiful kind of look, and there's a soft wind that always flows through that bar. This is from Lich in Death's Misfits. She's showing off the dome that they make, and it has this lo-fi music that I play within their like wizard cloak as well as in their dome. It's kind of a vibe because they're from Soa. It's like an ancient but higher technology based world. I have Noel animated, my Galora monk, a very cutie. Euphoria, love this. I haven't had a design for Euphoria yet finalized. We get to see like her shapeliness and her pose and all the different angry and shocked expressions she can get. Another scene, we have Maddie yelling the ghost out of Yelvin. An interesting technique that my partner tried to do, basically, because Maddie does not have a lot of offensive attacks, is viciously mock the ghost out of a person's body rather than harming the person. I let him basically do a charisma check to see if it worked, and then now he can target souls within a body to do this spell too. Here is Argynvoss, a blood hunter, then paladin, then barbarian, which is presenting barbarian here from Nightmares and Roses, where Missy's from. Lady Shade is a epic entity within Chord's Mark ones, as well as Thalen. She is a mystery. She is an enigma who has daggers she can throw a lot and is very roguish. Nebula Spring Echo. This is a location within my campaign, and a Fey entity has tons of protective pixies that watch over this beautiful magic spring, which is like a focal point, or it's where magic essence grows from. Savara Galame is the wife to Kaldir Galame. That is the dad of Maddie. She got son because of the summer court. Next we have Cernunnos Temple within Lotham. This is another one from my campaign. And Cernunnos, I'm sure a lot of people are aware of that deity within Pagan and things like that. That is a very similar, this is a nature-based god within my content. Sandrak fighting Havoc over the Winter Axe. So much going on here, but the lovability of two fighters just being like, good game, over a magical item is just very fun. This piece is very important because it made me really realize how making a character design can solidify something in my head, because I picture one thing for a long time, because without a drawing, it shifts to whatever I'm thinking instead of what has been described in the beginning when meeting a character. And my partner had a certain depiction they wanted for High Marshal Rain Alahais, and apparently we've ended up with like an older Asian aesthetic, and now he's solid in my mind. Before I didn't know, I just gave him generic older elf aesthetic, so this really helped me think of him when I think of the person in charge of Talon, Knights of Talon within Yonder. Next is another one from my campaign, the Overlook Bar. This is the bar in which Brightbeak owns, and it's the inside. We have an Asimar Revere, which is he's in the Feyward campaign. He's popping out his wings in a cute manner. Feyward, once again, we have Tiv's Study. This is not seen in the comic yet. It is that beautiful tower that we see over his domain. Here's a location or a scene that Missy is finding a devil worshipper altar. Is a little shocked. Next is my girl, my barbarian, Sandrak, with her little lightning bolts. This is a Oath, or Talks kind of character. Inquisitor Sylvandala. She is a drow and a high priestess, essentially. Sunrest Inn. This is the room where some romantic things occur with Roxlin and Maddie, and I was really happy with how this turned out for the architecture. Sandrak being hunted by Mab. Has to do with the Winter Axe. Raven's looking in on her. You see her hair down because she styles it every morning to be Vele, animated with her cute little teeth obsession. Bella Whirl. Oh, this is a dryad. She hot. She's also within the Feyward campaign character list. Overlook Baths. The baths are high up in the trees and lets a person have curtains over, either a sheer or multiple curtains, to look over on the entire town while they bathe, either at sunrise, whatever. Just enjoying the view. Vela and Sandrak defeating some people. We'll leave that to what it is. There's a lot of, spoilers in that. The Holy Bubjiv, as it were, little Missy wagging her tail and wiggling around her magical healing blade. Inquisitor Elisha Lightborn. I love this design, and some things just happened in a recent session that made this baffling to look at. Maddie's home is within my campaign. It's where Maddie, my partner's bard, used to live in the Feywild. Maddie performing with Miski on the stage of Melvia in Forest Bed. Leo is not even a love interest. He's a character within my campaign who's was tempting for Maddie. This is just a quick little show off a character and then show off a scene. Maddie tries to drink a coffee that this Thieves Guild kind of person made out of like liquor syrups. Ugh, she didn't like it. We have Snags, my partner's character within the campaign that I have, Noel. He's a cute little chaotic anarchist satyr. Alacor. This character design really exemplifies them with their pose, their body type. It is a bit more masculine in a body type, but has a cinched waist at times, like a drag queen can have. Their hair can be up, can be down, and they can present feminine, masculine, and anything in between. It's very fun. Bahiri Fort. I hadn't drawn a lot of forts, so this was a good practice for me. Not perfect, but it's a very simple one. Talks in the captain's chair in the Howling Bird is as a huge inspiration for what happens to her later on in the campaigns. And and she is powering and controlling a ship with her mind. Lita drinking alcohol, as she does in a cute little animation. This was good for movement of head and just kind of trying to show an action on loop. Wari, love interest to our bard in the Nightmares and Roses campaign for Sapphire. Half-orc fighter, good person. Favor's Warehouse. This is a location that Maddie fell in love with because she helped this tiefling named Favor figure out there was an essence that was controlling a warehouse that let her poof items into her hands. Marco Silverstrings, the most classic generic bard ever created with that intention. He's in Whitcomb Eagleheart's group. Vela proposing some things to Sandrak in a cute little gay way. Avalon, the godmother to Missy, the witch, the half-stone-faced, half-shaven babe. I love this design. It is so perfect for her. This is Tox's magnificent mansion entryway. It is like a mystical nighttime maze that leads up to a door that leads into the actual house. Alicor, in a more feminine presentation, she is bowing with her hair flowing downward. Snags. This one really helped me understand the character when I drew this for my partner's, what is he? He's a rogue, yeah, in this one, or he was. He might be a pugilist now. Feljack, this is Revere. This character has a lot to do with Feyward, but I don't want to go too far into it, but I think it's a good presentation of him, because I've drawn him a lot since he came out. End. This is a duo of Odd and End, and this is the brother Aasimar to a very chaotic Odd Aasimar, and they take over and watch over a Sehanin temple, basically. The Risky Biscuit is a weird food-based brothel in Caerleon. Quick little depiction of that. Lick hanging out with Eltaor, trying to look into his spell book because Lick loves spell books and cute little wizards. Brightbeak, the adorable Kenku that owns the Overlook. A very fluffy and charismatic Kenku who uses a little typewriter to type out what they want to say to other people because Kenku are cursed and cannot speak. In this scene here, I have when Rainia first got her hair and abilities of being a warlock for the Jack outside the tower of him, while Missy is trying to hold and take care of Zephril, their wizard friend. Roxlin, love interest within my campaign for Maddie, the drow rogue, poofing a hat that allows him to not have disadvantage when seeing during the daytime. Tox's dining room in the magnificent mansion. It just has beautiful sky in the top and then portraits of either ideal locations or places she's been on the walls. Yelvin, a love interest and the best friend to Roxlin within my campaign with Maddie. Spring, well, this one's a spoiler. Bathhouse, that's all. This was a good study on Bathhouse. Missy and Aelfire, the love interest, one of the love interests to Missy, because also Rainia is as well. Just being cute in the Knights of Talonhall. Jack, this is a younger barbarian character within Maddie's group in my campaign. Nightmares and Roses at the Silver Bowyer. This is Sapphire getting very angry at a very racist elf, insulting her three tiefling friends. And last, we have Lick. This is only like 3 panels, it's not enough, but I wanted to get one in of them. They're just walking around, chilling to the music in their cape, while Soots is rocking out with them. Well, I hope you've all enjoyed it. If you watched this far, I appreciate you. And if you ever do practice like this, please tell me about it, how it went for you, if you improved at all with yours. I would love to hear more. And if you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. If you want to watch or if you want to read the comic in which all these characters and stuff are from, it's on www.fancyfatale.com. Yeah, I hope you had a good time, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!